Hello, everyone, and good morning. Welcome to our live feed update for August 28th. I'm your host, Taran Armstrong, and I'm here today to update you on everything that happened yesterday on the Big Brother 25 live feeds. It was day 26 in the house, and not actually a bad one. Not a terrible one in terms of having to recap things. It was one of the slower days that we've had on the season so far. I think in large part due to Corey in America helping give me the night off because nobody needs to recap 5 hours of cuddling. And the plan from Suri to keep Jag is just still in place. Nothing changed. So, look, there's still some stuff to talk about. In particular, of course, the Jared and Blue stuff. Jared needs to be informed about the fact that Blue is currently the plan to be evicted. How is he going to react? What is he going to do? That sort of thing. And then, of course, you'll want to hear the AmeriCorey stands shippers will want to hear about what's going on there. So let's get straight into it here. Of course, as you all know, as you saw on the graphic that was just up there, I'll bring it up again here. Cameron's the HOH, and he nominated Jag and Blue. Red won the veto, and Red does not plan on using the veto. Jag is Cam's target. He was the target, but the day before, Matt made a compelling argument to Suri and company about why keeping Jag might make sense, because Jag is a better competitor, bigger target out in front of them, better asset to take on Cam and Red. And so they decided to change the plan and keep Jag, get rid of Blue. Of course, there are some other factors like they don't like Blue very much. And taking out Blue would, stop distracting Jared. But in the meantime, Jared was busy cleaning up some couches with Blue and telling Blue that he has a mom in the house. So the clash of those things is impending here on day 26. Another thing that had happened the night before is that Bowie had cried to Suri about Izzy being mean to her, which Izzy is going to find out about here on the morning of day 26. Bowie's crying about me? I'm abrasive? Pfft, give me a break. I see right through that. She's so fake. How ridiculous of Bowie to act like I'm being mean to her. I only hate her and want to tell her that I've never liked her from the moment I entered the game. I don't understand why anybody would be upset with me about that. That's just me a bully? Come on. That's impossible. I'm Izzy. Was basically the response. By the way, the vote for the invincibility power ends in about an hour. If you are so inclined, we don't yet know exactly how this is going to factor into this week's or next week's eviction, but do your thing, I guess. Now I'll say again, the plan is still to save Jag. It'll be the plan from Suri is Jag stays, Blue goes. There are 10 votes, which means they're planning a 6-4 vote. The people that they want to vote with them are Suri, Felicia, Izzy, Matt, Mimi, and Jared as the 6th swing vote. Suri is not supposed to tell Jared that he is supposed to be the 6th swing vote until the last minute. Then they're going to pull Jared in, convince him to vote out his showmance, and then Blue will be blindsided. The other side of the house will be blindsided. The votes against Jag, the votes for Blue to stay, would theoretically be America, Corey, Red, and Bowie. And they would be left on the outs. Now, the plan at that point is, with a 6-4 vote, that Jared and Matt are going to deny voting blue out of the game. They are going to say, no, Red and Cam, we were with you. Of course we voted for blue to stay. Jared is in a showmance with blue. And me, Matt, I am with you. You trust me, right? I've been with you from the start. Corey and America, they're the sketchy ones. They're going to blame their votes on Corey and America. That is the plan for this vote. The idea being that Corey and America will be shunned by Red and Cam, who won't trust them anymore and will be forced to still be working with Suri and all of them, while Jared and Matt will further be able to infiltrate the Cam and Red side of things and continue to get information and all of that kind of stuff. From the outside looking in, and also from the inside looking in, and basically any angle, this is a terrible plan. First of all, getting rid of blue is terrible for Jared. I mean, blue is a great asset for Jared. Keeping Jag is bad for you because it maintains a connection that Matt has with Jag and gives Matt more options when you're planning to bring Matt fairly deep into the game at this point. And the fact that they're both very physical competitors and can easily stomp you in the end game comps, but they don't really know that about the end game comps. It's just a bad idea all around. The idea that Cam and Red would believe that Corey and America voted against them when Corey has so much dirt on you and all of the kinds of like things that he can rat you out with could not only turn Cam and Red against you, but also Matt and Jag, even after being saved by you, could turn against you after hearing all of the stuff that you've been going on, you've been doing, and all of the things that they didn't know about. But this is Suri we're talking about. And so it wouldn't surprise me if, despite all of that, she manages to hold on and convinces Cam and Red that things are fine and that Matt and Jag continue to do what they're doing. And it's, it'll be interesting, Suri versus Corey. But we'll see. We'll see. So that's the plan. But Jag likes America and Corey still at the beginning of this day, at least. And so he is going to talk to Izzy and talk about how he kind of wants to bring America and Corey in on the vote. I mean, he would love to have a little extra security for this vote. He would love as many votes as possible. Izzy brings this back to Suri. She says Jag wants to tell Corey and America about him staying so that they'll vote for him. And Suri says, no. If he does that, I'm calling it off. No more. He leaves. If he tells Corey and America, he goes. So Izzy goes back to Jag and says, no, we don't trust Corey and America here. You can't tell them anything. And Jag is like, okay, I guess. So that's the Jag story. Corey is going to have his morning hammock chat with Izzy. He asks how the plan is going for the week. She says, oh, I think it's fine. Like everything's the same and it's all good. So yeah. And Corey's like, cool, yeah, great. So here's everything that I've got. And he just spills all of his information as he normally does, while Izzy literally is just sitting there like, uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Oh. Yeah. Okay. And what about okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Corey's got other things on his mind, clearly. He talks about how he's annoyed at Jag. Speaking of other things on his mind, he's annoyed at Jag because Jag is like, he's coming in, he's like hanging out with America, and then Jag comes in, he wants to cuddle, and he literally inserts himself in between him and America, and it's like, dude, I don't want to cuddle with you. This This is where Corey's head is at. He doesn't really understand. He's like, what I don't even understand. Like, what coalition does Jag think is going to come together to vote for him to stay? Like, I don't get it. Also, I don't understand why the sentiment is turning against Bowie. Like, I like Bowie. Bowie's fun. And that's when she says, well, Bowie was so mad at us for staying up late last night and all of this stuff. And he's like, oh, I didn't realize. So that's where Corey is. Jag is going to campaign to Red, but not really. It's not really a campaign. He doesn't really actually try to get Red to use the veto. In fact, he basically says to Red, I know you're not going to use the veto on me, so that's fine. Just had to mention it. The real meat of the day, and look, we're getting through this quickly. This is an efficient day. We're going to talk to Heisem in a little bit. So you'll have that to enjoy if you want to listen to our interview with Heisem. We'll talk to Heisem about being in a post Heisem world, and other fun stuff. But the main juice of the day here is that Suri is going to talk to Jared. Suri says to Jared, first of all, you can't trust Corey. I'm telling you, you can't trust Corey. He goes, She no. Jared, I'm telling you on home, you can't trust Corey. He says, why? Like, what do you mean? She says, he's working with Cam and Red. He's telling America things. You cannot trust him. And Jared, being Jared, is like, oh, I already knew that. I already knew that stuff. Listen, I'm not stupid. I don't trust anybody in this house. I don't give anybody any information because I know I can't trust them. Sorry for the listeners. Occasionally, I pause because I need to just wrap my head around the thing that I just said somebody said. In case you didn't catch the reference, he literally just told Blue the night before that he has a mom in the house, but that's fine. Suri says, okay, this has to stay between us. Can't tell anybody. Blue might go home this week. It's like, wait, Blue? Why? Because they don't trust her. He goes, oh no, that's not good for me. That's not good for me. Says, why is it not good for you? She's my +1. She's my protection. She goes, nah, that's doesn't matter. It's and listen, they won't know how you voted. She starts to try to tell him the plan about lying about the vote. He's like, no, I just that Suri, that's like me Mom, that's like me taking away Izzy. Just, what do you mean? Like Izzy? No. Like what are you using her for? What are you using her for, Jared? No, listen, Jag will be eternally grateful to us. He says, I don't know. That's how I feel. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Wait, hold on. Are you saying you want me to vote her out? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you were saying? Just yes. And we'll pretend it was America and Corey. Listen, Jared, I need this one. I don't think so. I don't agree with that. I don't think so. But it is what it is. I don't know. This isn't the best for me. She's like, listen, you have to trust me on this one, Jared. You have to trust me on this one. I do. I trust you, but I don't agree. But it is what it is. So I don't know. She says, listen, you can't tell them that I told you this. I wasn't supposed to tell you. They wanted to wait. They didn't want to tell you. She says, well, that makes me not trust them. She says, no, they will tell you eventually. She says, nope. They want to do this and they don't want to tell me about it. They lost my trust 100%. That's done for me. She says, no, you can't not trust Izzy. Think about it before you say that. You can't not trust Izzy. Says, all right, I'll think about it. Yeah. All right, bye. He's not pleased, Jared. He's not pleased. All Obviously, he's trying to fight back, but like Jared has a hard time taking hard stances, especially against his mother. And despite the fact that he is trying to argue against this, he does also say, it is what it is. I trust you. It is what it is. He doesn't actually like fully agree, but he definitely gives the sense that he might back down. And that's confirmed when he later talks to Blue. Because he's talking to Blue and he says, hey, you know what my concern is? She's like, what? What's your concern, Jared? He says, my concern is that like if I leave, say hypothetically, I leave this house before you leave, or you leave before me, that like you might figure something else out. She's like, oh, what? So you're assuming I'm not making jury, asshole? He's like, I'll just, I think I'm just gonna have to let you roam. I'm just gonna have to let you roam and see if you come back home. Uh, you know, will you come back home? I don't know, but I'll have to let you roam about. And she says, well, I mean, listen, I've told you before, but like this is the most honest I've ever been with anybody. And I definitely would want to see how this works out. So I don't think that's a concern. And she says, hey, and maybe if you leave before me, that or no, I would want to see how this works out. And then he says, well, he's not like pleased with that answer. He's like, well, if I were to leave and you were to stay, wouldn't you be concerned? She's like, no. I mean, I think it would be good for you actually to be able to go home and figure out your own stuff, with your person without me being there to sort of like get in the way. I think that would be good for you and us. And he goes, "Aw, you sound so mature, even though I know you're not." And she says, "Wow, Jared, you're so condescending sometimes." He says, "What? No, it was a compliment. I was complimenting you." She said, "The way that you said that was not a compliment." He's like, "Nope, nope. See, it's just the way you take it. You're taking it as condescending, but I was just complimenting you." Okay? Um, all right, Jared. He says, so hold on. Back to what you were saying. Are you saying that, am I supposed to feel the same way about you wanting to work things out with your person? Is that what you're saying? Because listen, if I were in here and you were out there, I truly don't think things would continue. You'd have too much time on your hands. 2 months is too much time, especially with you back home, being back home with your person. You could rekindle things. Listen, it's less about you and more about me. I would want to reevaluate if it's still tangible or, probably not going to happen now, you know? And she's like, "Yeah, I mean, look, that's fair. It's similar for us. Like you need to vet out, do your thing. 2 months later, see what happens. I mean, I get that." He says, no, nope, that's not the same at all. What I'm saying is that I need to vet you. I need to reevaluate you when I get out. I don't think it'll work because I would need to reevaluate where you are after, like, where are you going to be? And she says, I don't know, Jared. It kind of sounds like we're saying the same thing. Like, yeah, we'll reevaluate. Like, yeah, but he's saying a particular thing. But listen, the point is, he's already prepping for her to leave this week and for him to vote her out. Knowing that this is at the very least a distinct possibility. So, will he do it? It certainly seems like he might. So, I mean, it's pretty weird, but he might do it. Moving on. Red and Bowie are going to talk for a little bit. They're going to talk about being locked in together. Bowie is moving further away from Izzy and further toward Cam and Red. The Cam Red Bowie alliance that never existed because Bowie was always loyal to the Bye Bye Bitches is becoming a real alliance because Izzy and Suri and them don't trust Bowie, didn't trust Bowie, even though they should have. And they've pushed her out so much that she is now actually going over toward Red and Cam. And the way that Izzy is treating Bowie is just exacerbating that situation. So Bowie is like actually starting to work with them, but she still trusts Suri. And so they talk about still trusting Suri, working together, being anti-Izzy, and all of that stuff. Suri ends up actually joining this conversation, and we need to talk a little bit about Red because he's, he's been a little weird about America. He's really going to be particularly weird about America today. He goes off on about America. He doesn't like how America flirts with people, especially Cam. Doesn't like how America flirts with Cam. Not his favorite. Doesn't like it. He's like, Suri, you should have seen it. Cam was talking about how if, like, for him, the kind of woman that he wants would need to be somebody that finds him funny. And then, I kid you not, a couple minutes later, America goes, ah, ha, ha, you're so funny, Cam. I mean, ugh, gross. He's right. Gross that he's saying this. Don't worry, though. It gets worse. He's very anti-America. He's going to talk to Cam a bit later. And Cam is kind of, again, expressing some concern about Izzy and the alliance. And Red is like, no. Legend 25. It's the thing. Suri is with us. She doesn't like Izzy. I've been talking to Suri. Suri also doesn't like Izzy, and Suri is helping us with Izzy. Suri is keeping Izzy in line. So we don't need to worry about it. The alliance is solid because of Suri. And Cam is like, yeah, I haven't really talked much with Suri, but I trust her. So yeah, okay, that makes sense. Red says, yes, I'm putting everything in place. It's me, it's you, it's Bowie, it's Matt, and it's Suri. And Cam's like, that is a solid 5. That is a solid 5. Imagine falling into Red's proposal when you're a fan of the show. Like, who's worse at that point? You know? Because they keep going back and forth, but for some reason, Cam, the HOH, the guy that knows the show a lot better, is conceding to most of what Red is saying. Oh, yeah, the people that I have relationships with, you're right. They suck. They should go. The people that you have relationships with, yeah, you're right. They're good. Red says we just need to get rid of America. And Cam is like, America? I mean, I feel like I would get rid of Blue at least first before America. And Izzy is a problem still. Red's like, no, put up Blue in America. Get rid of America next. Cam's like, I mean, maybe. I just feel like America I could at least talk to. Or we could at least talk to. And Red's like, we? Maybe you. He's like, yeah, well, me. When I say me, I mean, or when I say we, I mean me. And when I say me, I mean we. And he says, listen, I think we can't have Izzy on the jury. That's a problem for us. Izzy will never vote for us on the jury. And Red's like, that's not a problem. If we both get there, she'll have to choose one of us. Cam's like, oh, that is a good point. That is a good point. Oh, all right. I don't know. And don't worry, that conversation lasted a long time, but you don't want to hear about it. Red and Cam also talked to Izzy for a little bit. Cam, thinking that he's vouching for Corey, says that Corey's been really valuable. He gives them a lot of information. Isn't that cool of Corey? Izzy, of course, brings that back to Suri, who says she likes Corey, but he's being such a weasel. Being such a weasel, that Corey. And Corey just gets in even more trouble. Let's talk about what happened here at night. There's a couple of things, just a couple of things. Mimi has her dinner. She decides to bring Felicia, Suri, and America to the dinner. This is the dinner that she won during the pressure cooker competition, and they have, I think, two bottles of wine, something like that, and so they got a little tipsy, just a little. And it sounds like America talked like some Final Four proposals during that time, and that was like, did Cerise say she didn't like Izzy to them? Not explicitly, but like when they're complaining about Izzy, Cerise like, yeah, she's a lot, but don't worry, like I've got you. I can help. I mean, and honestly, a lot of it is in Red's head. Just Suri doesn't even need to say things. Sometimes he will just assume that she like he Red has an entire fantasy land of the Big Brother game in his head. Like straight up. It doesn't exist, but in his head he's playing like, okay, no. Here's a better version. Red is playing Big Brother as the little brother who gets the controller that's not plugged in. That is Red. Suri is the big brother giving him the controller that's not plugged in. That's what's happening. And then while Red's playing the game with no controller plugged in, he's telling the other little brother who doesn't even have a controller, oh, listen, look at how good I am at the game. Follow my advice and you'll be as good as me someday. And Cam's like, I don't know. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I guess so. Anyway. They come back from the dinner. America spent a lot of time getting ready. She's put on a dress. She's come back. She's a little tipsy, and she's ready. She's ready to make a move, and so is the entire house, because it's a whole house affair. That hey, Corey, you're a fly guy. You've got the fly guy card, Corey. And they are joking around. And let me tell you, Corey is not having fun. I don't know how they couldn't tell, but like he's not smiling through this. I mean, he's having fun in the sense that, like, yeah, clearly at this point he's got a crush, but he's not having fun at all of the rest of them. And so they're messing around. Jared's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll give you some tips, bro." Haha, just kidding. And man, there's a reason the beds are connected to the wall. And Corey's like, "What does that mean? What does that mean?" They're like, "Think about it." America says, "I'll show you." And so they're all hanging out. And then Corey and America, they're gonna go up and start a cuddle session together. First in the loft bed. Then they move to the have-not room. At which point they start cuddling. They do. She asks for a spoon. He obliges. The talk, though, is very funny. Mostly because it's Corey and America, and the vibe is weird, but, you know. Corey's going to bring up, he says, isn't it funny that this is, like, exactly where Kyle and Alyssa... Like, at least we're not on floaties, right? He starts talking about what this is a pretty weird showmance, right? Like pretty unique showmance in the show. Like it's not like we're McCrae and Amanda, right? She's like, I don't know. It's like, what, do you want to be America? She's like, no. It's like, I don't want to be McCrae. Um she is interested in taking this further. He is not. He has set the boundaries. He does not want to go any further than the cuddling. There were multiple instances where she was definitely looking to progress, and he was not making the move. He later says to the cameras, he has set the boundaries. They are ironclad. Um, so he does not plan to do anything on camera. That is not what he's here for. Um, so that is the current state there. They do though talk about Cam and Riley, which was pretty funny. Corey clocks the. It's weird that Cam says he looks at Riley as a daughter, but also as like a hot girl. And America's like, yes, that was so weird. He's like, yeah, I mean, that's why I always tell people that I see you as a father figure. Corey, despite setting the boundaries, though, is very very smitten here. He is, he's. I said this before, but I feel like Corey over the last couple of weeks has been so good in the game that you kind of forget that he's only 21 sometimes, even though he looks, as he says, like he's 14. But Corey being smitten definitely reminds you that he's a 21-year-old. And so he's very, he's very happy, and he's doing the smitten thing in the house, which is like, I don't want to have to hang out with other people. Like, all these other people suck. I just want to hang out with you. So on and so forth, right? Very clearly, he is a little distracted by this whole situation. And I would definitely say, you know, I think the thing about Corey is that, like, he has a lot of prep, a lot of knowledge about the game, about the show. He's listened to these podcasts. He's been a part of the community. He came in, he was doing very well. He knew how to play his role. Then he gets into this situation, and I would guess, maybe Zach will tell me otherwise, I would guess he did not prep for how to play the game in a showmance. I would guess that he is going to be a little bit lost, and he's going to keep trying to play the game like he's the little brother nerd kid that doesn't have a showmance, and not realize that, like, being in a showmance means that you're going to have to approach the game a little differently. And so I've been a big proponent of showmances are not necessarily bad for your game. In fact, they can be very beneficial. But some of the reasons why they can be bad for your game is if they distract you from actually playing the game, which is currently what's happening. And other things are not going to work out for you. Maybe somebody else also didn't prep for it. I don't know. So anyway, I got to talk to Heisem here, so we're going to finish off the day here. While Corey and America were upstairs, there was a bit of a condom gate going on because they wanted to joke around and bring condoms up to America and Corey, but when they went to grab the condoms, they were missing. Where did the condoms go? Who took out the condoms? Cut to a close-up of Blue, of Jared. What happened to the condoms? They eventually do find some condoms, and they make a joke. They bring up the condoms and they put them in the room. Funny. Everybody laughed. Mimi had a conversation with Jag. this was interesting. Mimi, let me tell you, I'm pleased to report she's talking game with people other than Sari. Let's go. Let's go. Mimi's back in the game. She's talking to Jag. They talk about how Jag is staying, how they should work together moving forward. Mimi tells Jag, Corey and America, can't trust them. They're no good. Listen, she didn't want to work with Corey and America. She didn't like them. But maybe she likes Jag and Matt. Maybe she could get into Jag and Matt because this would be big for her. And so she does so by throwing Corey and America under the bus, which, you know, at this point, that relationship's gone. So why not? He's happy to finally know what was happening with the Riley vote because she tells him that Corey and America are essentially the problem with the Riley vote. She also has that conversation with Matt, who is going to be even more upset about the Riley situation. She tells him, don't trust Corey and America. So, you know, Corey and America continuing to decline in the situation of the house. But hey, Mimi on the rise. And then Red and Sari are going to talk some more. Red is even more upset about the America situation now that she's off with Corey. He complains to her again about how she's flirting. He's like, yeah. And now, you know, Cam hasn't given her any sexual signals, but she's still rubbing all up on him and hugging him. She is my least favorite person in the house. Yeah, not because of that, but just, you know, other things. And so, you know, Cam thinks he can work with her, but he can't. It's not worth it. You know, her and Corey have been trying to keep things low key, but I knew as soon as she got a buzz, you know. Ugh. So that's what's going on there. And that's kind of the day. That's kind of the day. That's kind of where we're at with the situation. Corey and America are a thing now, very much so. Red, weird about America, wants to target her, giving Big Sam BB20 vibes. The plan is still in place to keep Jag and take out Blue. Jared has been told he doesn't like it, but he might go along with it. And that's kind of where we are. It's kind of where we are at this point. So that's what I have. Quick, to the point. Tomorrow night, we're going to have the roundtable. We'll get into more detail about some of this strategic stuff. I will be back tomorrow morning as well at 11 a.m. Eastern to update you on everything that happens today on the Big Brother 25 live feeds, including the veto ceremony, which will happen today. Lock in the nominations. We'll see if there's any more discussion with Jared, if he's really willing to do this, if something changes with Jared and Blue, and whether he's actually going to be willing to do this, if the blind side actually goes through. There's plenty of stuff yet to happen here with all of that. But in the meantime, you can find me over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Taran Armstrong, where I'll be watching things live with all of you, including feeds and all of that fun stuff. And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, all of those places as well. So I'm off to talk to Heisem. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. And I will see all of you next time.